Hello and welcome to a Vodcast edition of Moss News. I'm Ix, and with me in the virtual studio is Kenny Jop.
Hey there.
We're going to talk about all the new world records and personal bests set in the community, but first, just a quick recap on last weekend's community event, the Grind number 4. This one was a little different. We had 4 runners, Carly Braun, Kirby, Grunting Crunchy, and Little Ethy, competing against each other in a Moss Points competition. The runners tried to collect as many Moss points as possible, as if they were starting from scratch, but actually we ended up having several PBs, a first for the grind.
Yep, that's right. We got to see Carly Braun get a Max Hell PB and an ASO PB. He got a 25, just under 26 minute ASO. And for Max Hell, he got just under 10 minutes. And I've been watching Carly, kind of been lurking in his stream pretty regularly. He's working on some ASO runs now. He's mostly early on, he was into no percent. So he's got some really solid platforming and even some good low percent no gold platforming. He's also had some really nice paces into the shotgun split on ASO. He hasn't got a really nice triple delivery yet, but he originally had sub 20 ASO as a goal, and I think he'll be able to get that if he keeps at it.
Yeah, wow.
And we also saw Kirby get 3 PBs during the grind, 2 of the same PBs categories that Carly PB'd in Max Hell and ASO. But he also got a very sick low percent no gold run, which it easily could have beaten his low percent PB, which is 337. But he got a 44-second 4-2, which brought it down. But very easily could have got under 330 there with just a reasonable 4-2. I mean, this run was no percent all the way into the temple at 208, which is actually very much on pace to beat the no percent record. Of course, there's a ton of RNG at that point in no percent, like Olmec and the temple. But yeah, it was really impressive run from Kirby there.
Yeah, actually, I thought that low percent no gold run by Kirby was going to be enough for him to potentially win the competition. We saw in the French Championship that Polo got a similar excellent low percent no gold run, and that was what it was able to put him past Vlad in the overall standings. The big difference here, though, is Grunting Crunchy came up with a really fast speed lunky hell percent run of 636. Actually, heading into the Yama fight, he was on pace for his own personal best in the category of 619, but he took a little bit slower. I'm kind of disappointed about that because he had 4 HP going into Yama, but it was just enough to win the competition. He finished with 313,000 points, just edging out Kirby with 305, and Carly Braun pretty close behind with 235. Unfortunately for Little Ethy, he wasn't able to finish that many runs. He got a pretty good ASO for his current PB, and also a no TP any percent. Just a couple of low percent runs that didn't quite make it, so very sad for him during the event. The good news for Kirby, though, is he actually did manage to pull out a PB outside of the grind this week. He had a 14-13 big money, which gave him actually quite a few Moss points.
Yeah, Ethan got that.
So, alright, now we'll move on to the other personal bests and world's records that we had in the community this week. You can find all these under the recent runs on Moss Ranking, which I'm displaying here. And we'll actually start off with a couple of interesting world records by Kenny Job. The first one is going to be a Haunted Max Eggplant no gold run. A pretty ridiculous combination of categories. And, you know, the Haunted edition in particular is one that I was thinking that the community really should have been on top of, but he was finally able to put it away. Do you want to say a couple things?
Well, a lot of the time on this run, I just kind of expected the no gold part to not work, or not be able to work, and even a few points later on in the run, like 4.2, which we'll see in a second here, I just was kind of expecting the run to just completely die. So there were a lot of pretty lucky and pretty tense and skillful moments in it.
Sure, so what we actually just saw in video is Kenny Job drawing the ghost underneath the void in the ice cave level and actually killing him completely. So he had enough time to maneuver the hired hand, get the damsel, and bring him into the worm. So definitely one of the highlights of this run is is just that excellent 3-1 there. We're going to jump ahead a little bit into the run to a 3-4-2. A lot of crazy stuff happens here. Let's see, and see if Kenny has some comments.
Yeah, this is where I kind of just expected the run to die. I might have been able to do float spots on that platform to the right there, but it would have been tricky with that gold and the eggplant. So I tried to put this bomb so it didn't break up the little 3-piece of gold right above the hired help there, and I got it down well. But here's where I kind of just expected the no gold part to end. When you're stomping mammoths like this, especially when the ball and chain is attached to you, the gem can just fly into you. So I kind of just expected it to end.
Yeah.
But I got lucky the way the sapphire flew there.
Yeah.
And here, I saw that falling platform. In hindsight, I could have gripped the side of this ledge I'm on here and looked down and saw that was a safe spot, but I didn't know that was a safe spot until I got down. But thankfully, you can just go on the edge there like I do and get this float spot going. So that's the second of 3 cool glitches in the run.
Absolutely.
And you'll see a third one in a minute here.
Yeah,
That's
so
the altar that broke.
entering this level, there was actually an off-screen explosion that gave you that ball and chain. Is that right?
Yeah, I must have been maybe a Yeti on an altar with a landmine, if I had to guess.
That's the sort of thing that just usually ends runs, but in this case, I'm sure you're happy to see the altar, but
yeah, that's about the point in the run where I started freaking out, because I knew that when you get the altar here, this is a very rare strat you get to use. After you use your Ankh, the hired hand you have duplicates, and you'll have 2 into the next level, but in this case, I got to murder the hired hand right there. And it's really good on no gold runs, because then you only have 1, the duplicate, into the temple here.
Sure, and for completeness, let's just jump ahead to the Yama fight here.
Yeah, sure.
Just a lot of fun stuff. So when I watched this video, I was expecting that you would possibly take it slow in this Yama fight. It's a pretty historic run, but that's a 15.6 second Yama fight there. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to get it over with at that point.
Yeah.
But I also threw an extra rope up there, because one of the random things that can mess you up with a fast Yama fight is an imp throwing a pot down. But you can slightly get away from that by using extra ropes, and I had a couple there. I just had to make sure I didn't accidentally throw the eggplant or something, because I've done that before.
Yeah. Well, anyways, just an amazing run. You and I have both been going for no gold max eggplant runs and also haunted max eggplant runs, but I haven't gotten one yet. To see you get both of the categories at once was just amazing to come home to and see that in the recent run. So excellent job on that.
Thanks. Yeah, it was nice to get them done.
So this next one is a 715 low base jump by you, and the part that we've highlighted is into 5-3. Pretty good resource count, but
yeah, it was pretty scary there.
Yeah.
If the spike ball was rotating a bit differently, that would have been an issue, but
absolutely
turned out okay. Everything else about this was not scary like that was. I think I mess up a little bit on the Yama fight just because I've never deployed the parachute like this. But yeah, it's one of the harder meme categories we have.
Well, it's low percent hell, but also I think in this category, other than this category more than other base jump categories, the inability to ledge grab and jumping down from a far distance really does have an impact on the run.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, and why I didn't do the run a whole lot, but just kind of felt like it.
Yeah, not much else to do if you get a 1-1 base 1-1 parachute. So let's see if you do the complete.
I think I do. I was worried about these guys throwing stuff at me and the magma men, but and on any low hell run, it's nice to have this extra rope. So if you don't get the right exit side RNG, which I don't, there's crates there, you don't have to go for the shoulder jump.
Sure.
It's not really that risky, but it's a little bit hard sometimes right at the end of a run.
You gotta sort of know where the platform on a shoulder extends to, and be comfortable with the Wile E. Coyote physics of jumping from slightly off the edge. But another
Yeah.
nice one. This is a, not your fastest low percent hell, of course, but definitely a fun new world record in a meme category. So
Yep.
nicely done. Third
Thanks.
one is yet another world record this week. Unfortunately, Kenny's taking down my own world record of about 9 minutes. But this is Haunted Max No Gold Hell. And just going to show a small clip of this because compared to some of Kenny's other runs, this isn't the most optimized run, but certainly a fun one. Always love to see getting the Chris knife in any run. I think that just adds so much to it. The clip that I showed is the strategy of blowing up the Book of the Dead room from below, which is actually the safest way to avoid getting gold in the City of Gold room.
Yeah, it's really good even without paste. You'd think the gold would fly everywhere, but it just falls down
Mhm.
or sometimes upwards a bit.
Love that. Love that Anubis 2 kill, of course. And then just for completion, let's show Yama getting his head chopped off.
Nice. Yeah, you don't get to do a lot of Chris Knife Yama kills.
Yeah, it's for me still the most satisfying way of beating Yama, even more so than an eggplant. Just
Yeah, it
this,
feels the safest too for a fast one.
yeah, the sound effect, everything about it, I love. All right, well, I think that's it for Kenny's world records this week, but a nice trio, and actually, because there's all sorts of new categories, you actually had 5 world records.
Yeah,
But
the eggplant one was 2.
mhm,
It was also haunted max eggplant and um no gold max eggplant.
mhm. So now to the plebes. We got a 643 hell run by Abob. His comment was, "Don't watch the Olmec fight." So here it is. Very risky. All right, so far so good. What could possibly go wrong? All right, so we got a very aggressive cascade attempt by him, and unfortunately,
It was close to working.
yeah,
Yeah, he
just
could have got. He might have been able to get under 6 if he um, had done the cascade fully.
mm-hmm. Just all sorts of spawns, all sorts of nastiness. Yeah, sorry, Abob. So actually not that bad of a time, a 47-second fight that includes
Yeah, I mean,
Anubis.
fights when we used to not cascade and used to do slower strats, 40 seconds was pretty standard, so
Mhm.
47 really isn't that bad.
Sure. And the
But
hell
I
is
like I like the fact that he did attempt the full cascade.
for sure. Yeah, I think if he had maybe located the City of the Dead area a little bit sooner, he might have had an extra second or two to be safe cascading down.
Yeah, the door location he got, it's a little bit hard to
Mhm.
get the cascade in time. So it's a little better to have the door further right,
Mhm.
so you get some more time with Olmec. In
Absolutely.
terms of pure speed, it's good to have the door like right there, but
Right. But it's
it's
the
real easy to
hardest.
mess with.
Yeah. So nothing else too notable about this run. I always like to
That
see
level, that level would have been nasty if you went through the path.
yeah. Just to see how quickly he finishes. Oh jeez.
Wow. Those imps were directly to the left and right of him. That's what I was talking about with the imps. Though.
Yeah. Awesome.
They can. That was really cool, actually.
I love popping off with like 12 bombs there at the end. Very nice.
Yeah, just in case.
Alright, so another run we liked by Abob this week was a 314 low. The first thing to highlight, 3 health, 4 bombs, 4 ropes, and sub 2 into Temple. And we'll just kind of sit back and watch everything he's able to do here.
Wow, yeah, really nice pace and resources in the temple here.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he didn't see a machete or a camera beforehand because there are a couple of things that'll take Abob off his game. Very easily distracted.
I think he was into the run, dedicated to the run at this point.
Yeah. But if he ever sees
This
2
is pretty
jetpacks,
fast.
yeah. I think it's a 4-3. This is a little bit more trouble than.
This is one of the first, maybe the first time I've thought to myself, Bob might pull out a sub-3 run,
Mm-hmm.
because he only needed, if he got a generous 4.3 there and then did Olmec right, he would have had a sub-3.
Yeah.
I believe he had like a 321 or so
Mm-hmm.
before this, so it's still a really big cut. But it looks a lot further from sub-3 than I'd say his platforming is.
Mm-hmm. So pretty standard Olmec. He's got 4 bombs. I want to say 4 ropes still.
Yeah, 4 really well equipped here. He got a troll pot there.
Yeah. If there's a spider in there or a snake or something, that can really mess up your run. Let's see if he goes for the full. Alright, so he's 1 layer. Oh, okay.
Hey, he did successful pip strats.
Nice.
He said he liked them. 30, just over 32. Really nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was 1 cycle behind on the reposition, and as a result, he goes for the pip strats, and it works out. Well done, Abob.
Yeah, really nice.
32-second Olmec fight there. Alright, so our next runner, Chocolate Cake, has a few runs. We're going to be watching a draining Olmec of about 5 minutes. Also of note, he had a 332 low percent, a 924 base jump, and a daily high score of 1.7 million that came on May 1st.
Yeah, nice daily there.
Yeah. So let's watch from the time he spots the second jetpack. Looks like he was actually trying for a max run at this point, but he's distracted distracted by the memes. Can't blame him. Hydrating, very good to see. See if we have any trouble here. He doesn't have a compass, which is kind of annoying. Very smooth, very safe exit here. Takes another sip of water. He knows this is a marathon, not a sprint. Oh shit, I'm reading chat. I'm not sure chat will be large enough for people to see, but we have references to some old friends of the community. Little Easter egg if you guys can can read.
Yeah, I'm a little bit embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
But I did say that I like you.
Oh dear. Alright, so Temple. As always, going for shortcuts in the Temple never works out in real runs. But I like that he didn't commit to it. He drops a bomb off at the beginning of 4-1 and then realizes that this is a dead end.
Yeah.
That's sometimes hard to do.
Too bad he didn't have paste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and slightly unoptimized draining Olmec, but this ends up being a really good time. Very scary 4-2 exit there, and you can see him celebrating a bit in the corner there. Oh, very dangerous. Good use of a bomb here. And once you're thinking about bombs, you think about dropping yet another bomb. He's really enjoying the jetpack hover.
That whole tempo was not easy.
Mm-hmm. Still very, very fast for a draining Olmec run. I don't know exactly where in the leaderboard it is, but probably top 5. It's tough. You have to give up some pretty good runs to get a fast time in this category. In his case, he gave up a potentially good max any percent run.
Nice start to the pit here.
Yeah.
He didn't accidentally do a 3-bomb hole.
Yep, find the right crease. Alright, so he's going to leave 2 tiles at the bottom. And it looks like he does do the fast strat. And... oh, this is a funny moment on stream. Someone in chat reminds him that he had prepared some hot water for noodles or something. So in a second he's going to pause. I'm actually going to jump ahead until he comes back. So he wrote a little note to me. acknowledging that he paused, and he was worried about the meme police adding time to his run because he paused strategically. But no, pretty clean run by Choco.
Yeah, he just didn't want to start a fire or something in his house.
All right, next run up, we've got Contra Muffin, who hasn't been that active recently. This is an any percent run technically, and also is any percent no TP. We're going to see the moment in his run that he changes from a low percent run to an any percent run.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because he ends with more than 1 HP, I believe, so he basically just... all that ended up doing was costing a few tenths of a second, basically.
Sure.
Maybe it gave him some more confidence, but yeah, it's nice to see he has the potential to get a low percent run this fast.
Yeah, it cost himself a few Moss points, but completing a run is always good to see. I always like watching the boss fights because so much can go wrong.
Yeah, in this game, quite a bit can go wrong.
He uses the default Spelunker. I don't know how I feel about that. The Indiana Jones. Alright, he definitely didn't need that damsel. Well, unfortunate, but still a very nice PB for him, and congrats on that achievement.
Yeah, really nice, sub 4.
So the next thing we want to talk about is a new and upcoming runner, Jordy May Cry. Kenny, do you want to talk a little bit about this guy?
Yeah, sure. I've actually been following Jordy pretty closely. I follow his YouTube channel, and he regularly posts runs that aren't PBs, some runs that were close to PBs or interesting moments. And as you can see from his profile, all of his runs are really bangers. He even has this no gold of his that's actually okay decent on its own. It counts for it's his low percent no gold times, the same runs, which is fantastic, under 330. His low percent run that he got recently, it was, I believe, 300 pace, 3 flat into Olmec, and he got a little bit trolled on Olmec. And his any percent, he's had some sub 2 paces into Temple. For his max any percent, he has a 339 right now, but Xbox has some issues with cascading that we're still kind of with bomb cascading that we're still kind of learning about. It works sometimes, but the timing's a little bit different. So he had a max any percent before this 339 where he lost like over 30 seconds on Olmec. If he could have cascaded, he would have had under 330, which, I mean, this 339 is impressive, but he could have had even better.
Sure.
So yeah, I think we'll see quite a bit from Jordy in the future. Hopefully he ends up on PC at some point, but if he doesn't, that's up to him.
Very good. So we'll actually see his low percent Olmec fight that Kenny was talking about, and exactly where he lost a couple of seconds on this boss fight. We'll also take a look at his max any percent, at least the worm part of his run. That's always a ton of fun. So notice the Xbox HUD or the classic HUD if you're playing on PC. So you can't tell how much time each level takes.
Yeah, Xbox doesn't have dailies or class or pro HUD. Something interesting there, like he got really screwed over by the spawns. But what Jordy does, I keep calling him Gordy, but what Jordy does is he does the super fast repositioning strat that allows you to get out of the pit quickly. And you saw he was going for it there, but there were just too many spawns for him to do it properly. But yeah, he's got some crazy fast Olmec fights thanks to learning it that way.
And then I wanted to show this. This is what I enjoyed the most from his set of PBs this week. I always love fast worms. Right on through. Even grabs the Chris knife, which isn't that helpful unless you're going to be going through hell.
I've had a few of these runs where the Matic breaks, but very rare. I could see it maybe coming in handy at that point, but like I said, it's rare. That was close. And runs where the Matic does break, they're usually too slow for someone to PB in anyway because they're digging a lot.
Then we'll take the Olmec fight, as Kenny mentioned. So he messes up a little bit on the bombs. Video quality is losing a couple frames.
Yeah, he's still working on the bomb toss at the beginning. I seen him get it right though.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got, see how he's got Olmec aligned there? He had him, yeah, there we go. He did pib strats there too.
Yeah. It's the modified pib strat though, right? Where Olmec is a little bit farther to the left.
Yeah, the way he threw the bombs there are like pib strats. The way he had Olmec aligned is the way we align him in low percent. But in any percent, it doesn't matter because you're going to be able to climb out the pit anyway. You don't have to grab the rope. When you grab the rope is when it messes up on low percent runs if he's not positioned like perfectly.
Very cool. Well, nice job by Jordy there. And the next one, we're going to be looking at another runner, either Horse B or Horse Eb. Don't actually know.
I think it's Horse B, but I'm also not positive.
Alright. So this is a max hell no teleporter. And so, of course, my favorite is the ice caves where all the max comes into play.
I really like his sprite.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him a few times so far, and he's starting to get some pretty impressive runs here, like getting a speed lunky no teleporter max hell like right off the bat is pretty impressive.
So actually this is both a max hell and a max any placeholder PB for himself. Also, as you mentioned, no teleporter. So quite a few moss points gained on this individual run here. Love that he
wonder
grows.
if he colored the sprite himself. Probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the modified Carl. Looks great. Just a ton of confidence, but still very safe. Always hovering pretty far above the dangers. Good adjustment with a bomb that isn't laid quite right. We'll check out the mothership as well, and then I'll probably jump ahead to the late game.
Sounds good.
So yeah, speed lunky, max L no TP with no paste. It's pretty good for a first PB, I would say.
For sure.
This is the area in any max run where having the Chris knife is probably the worst thing possible. There's such a desire to whip off those ceiling turrets to make things safer, but of course they will blow up and murder you if you attempt that. A little bit of
Really
good luck
fast
there.
mothership.
Yeah, good luck that the shopkeeper ran to the right. I don't know what his plan would have been if he had ran to the left there.
Sometimes you can knife him, but often he'll shoot you before you get a chance.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like he was looking for some more resources, possibly some HP before he goes into the Moai, but just a small time loss there. And now let's watch the celebration, the best part of any Chris knife run. If he disappoints me with bombs, I'll be so mad. Yeah, the fire pot misses him, which is nice. Got him.
Nice. A lot of enemies.
Yeah. He must have been able to recharge his jetpack on the rope there. Wasn't sure if he grabbed it or if he just had enough to complete. But so very nice. He had another couple of runs this week. He had a 459 low percent, no gold, and also a 22-minute all shortcuts plus Olmec. So quite a few moss points this week for him.
Pretty fast ASO already too.
Yeah. Alright, who's next?
We got you.
I think I'll be silent for the most part. This is the no TP, no gold.
Yeah, so this is a really scary exit here. Just that sapphire too, just was like icing on the cake.
I was sure the run was over there, but it's just, may as well go for it. May as well try. I'm probably looking for a castle here rather than taking this as the most direct path.
Yeah, that's what I would think we were going for there, but it only cost you a second or two.
And this is the next, I think,
Was
fun
that
exit.
3 Dead Are Restless?
Yeah.
Nice. Dead Are Restless are usually good for speedruns. Sometimes they're awful though. Yeah, another scary exit there. There wasn't really a fast, safe way to approach him.
I'm gonna jump ahead to the temple where it gets fun again.
Yeah, basically all the exits in the temple were also scary. In this Tiki situation with the Thwomp,
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of deaths there, including from both of us in that
This
situation.
that arrow trap at the end of 4-1 has killed me so many times. I finally got around it.
Yeah.
I should have used a rope, of course, but I never think of it. I always try to just fly through it. You know, I will say there's a lot of luck to get out of some of these exits, at least the way I'm playing them. And this is just kind of an unnecessary thing that I do in the run.
That was kind of scary. I mean, it sped you up a bit.
Hmm. I dropped the Matic off here because it occasionally messes up my timing on Olmec if I come in with anything other than the whip.
Yeah, most people do, and I do take the Matic into Olmec, but I have also lost runs because of it.
Mhm.
Like, I like to put it down next to Olmec, because it saves you like a tenth or something. I mean, it's not really that important, but if you're being like super optimal, you can go for it. But sometimes I like get confused when I'm trying to do the first bomb.
Just a nice couple of spawns here, nothing to see.
Yeah, I couldn't really think of a safe way there to deal with the gold.
Oof.
Lost some time there. But yeah, it looks like you... Nice bomb there to get rid of the monkey too. Definitely got potential to take that further. You got a couple unkind tempo levels in Olmec there.
So that was a fun one, no Moss points of course. This one I think was yesterday on stream, but it's a hell run. I wanted to show off this Olmec fight, which I was kind of YOLOing it because I knew I was maybe 5 or 6 seconds behind my PB at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure until yesterday. I've seen you do 6-bomb cascading. Have you been doing it?
Usually not with Olmec this close. So I usually move him out of the way so he's not aggroed, but if I had done that,
really nice.
yeah, I would have lost 5 seconds or more and ruined a chance at a PB. But yeah, this wasn't the most forgiving hell. It was alright.
Yeah, it had a fair shot at sub 5 into hell here, but some rough levels. I think this was the only level that was I mean, that was 11 seconds, which is like
That's fine.
probably average, I guess, for a hell level on a hell run. But these next two, I believe, both are costly.
Yeah,
That could have been a path. You didn't
yeah.
want to go over this whole structure. I hate seeing those structures on hell speedruns. This is a good place to bomb here. Normally, I don't advocate bombing in hell, except on like eggplant runs, because you can't whip, and sometimes it's just only a little slower and a million times safer.
If you're right above the exit,
That's a
it's
good
usually
spot.
pretty good.
That's another really good bomb. You can see that structure there with the falling platforms. That means it's straight down for a whole subroom. It's a really nice
And this exit was
thing
just
to
kind of
know
lucky
about
here.
hell layouts.
That was just kind of YOLO. I knew I had no time left. And I think I tried to take Yama a little bit wider than usual, but go up as fast as possible.
Yeah, you got kind of trolled there with the lava man. I think a skull set loose a pot from an imp.
Yeah.
But still, 17 seconds flat, really nice.
Yeah, pretty happy about
Probably
that.
get sub 5 any day now, I think.
So we got another hell run coming up next. This was the very last run submitted after the last news came out. So shout out to Jake Yoshimitsu. Another hell run.
Yeah, I've seen Jake on some pretty crazy paces. Jake, or Yoshi, is a guy who's really got a lot of potential that he hasn't quite been able to get to. The only things that he's like close to that his potential on are like low percent and not even score. Actually, he lost a score run recently in hell that was just under 3 million pace. His PB, his score PB, he skipped hell because it was for champion flare purposes. He just wanted the 2.5 million.
Incredible. So that was a terrible level. He's also out of bombs completely.
Yeah. So when you're in that situation, you want to have spike shoes in case you go into Yama with no shotgun if you can't get a shotgun. So he does have spike shoes, so he'll probably just opt for that route instead of grabbing a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen Yoshi on for as low as 410 pace hell runs into the middle of hell. I remember he was pretty sad when he lost that one, and I've seen a couple other ones that were like 430, 445 pace.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some really fast paces into the temple.
There's the stomp.
Yeah, he went for the stomping. So hopefully we see some more from him. I think he's got a little bit more time this summer than he had recently.
Oh, that's nice. So he doesn't.
Yeah, that's a nice Krill, I believe, does that strat too. I'm guessing that's where Yoshi learned it from, because he watches Krill videos.
Yeah, it's actually pretty forgiving. It's safe. You don't run into the hands as a problem. The only thing you have to be careful of is a vampire or something else from above, but very nice demonstration of how to finish off Yama there safely.
Yeah, it's more precise. Mm-hmm. If you run into trouble on the way up, I would say the strat he just did is a better strat to use, because it's just safer. If you go up super fast, like I always say, you shouldn't get attacked at all by Yama.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know the fight 100%.
Sure. So next up, we got Kanado with a pretty sick any percent, a 225 run. And I think we're going to watch just most of it, starting with the shop robbery.
Really nice to see Kanado back in action here. I know he lost like a 3 or 215 or so pace, any percent on Olmec, and I believe it was also without jetpack.
Wow.
I remember he was really sad about that one, so it's nice to see him finish a run close to it. I knew he could do something if he just got some more shops with the jetpack and was got some more chances at it. So, but yeah, you can see he has a lot of skill with the teleporters. Sometimes when he's on a fast pace, he'll slow down a bit, which is normal. But now that he's actually finished a fast teleporter run, I think he could really even take it down further. He's got some good instincts.
Absolutely. All he really needs is a good low percent run, and he'll be part of the top 25.
Yeah, that's right. I think you were telling me he'll be at like 715k or so.
Yeah, like a 323 low percent would get him there for sure.
Yeah, he's another guy who's mentioned he might be playing some more. I believe he got to a place where he can stream more, so he's more conducive to streaming. So hopefully we'll see some more from him there.
Very cool.
This pace is damn near sub 2 pace at this point. I used to always tell myself when I was going for my first sub 2, okay, if you're under 1 minute into ice, you can do the rest in under a minute. So you could be 59 flat and finish at 159, which is pretty accurate. There's some wiggle room in either direction, but yeah, really nice.
Skipping ahead from a little bit of a pause there, but
sure.
This is the full run. Oh, you gotta go through the Moai.
Oh, you saw it. I thought he might have missed it. It was hard. You could barely see the edge of it.
Gotta take advantage of all glitches. Just safer. He's telefragged a couple of shopkeepers, so he's not gonna get de-aggro from this, but that's one of the ways you can get late game de-aggro in any percent. It's still pretty rare.
Yeah, de-aggro on any percent is super rare. It can be very helpful. There's certainly seeds where it doesn't make a difference if you're just going super fast and not really thinking too much about avoiding shopkeepers at the exits, just trying to get to the exit. But there's also a level of confidence it can give you, I think, when you know they're not going to be there, the shopkeepers.
By the way, did you see where he grabbed the hired hand? I think it was 1-4, maybe even 1-3. But
he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
That's not good for your nerves.
That's not great.
I think it was Falafel Raptor had a PB one time. It was around this pace too, that had at least 2 hired hands and 2 Olmec. It might have been 3. I think it was 3, and 2 died and 1 survived. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It's kind of scary.
It's still there. Might be a meme category right here. Longest surviving hired hand in an any percent run? Ooh. He's got to be dead by now, though. Yeah, poor guy.
That's good. I mean, he's a pain to have on Olmec.
Just jumping forward just a little bit.
Sure.
Very good idea by Kanado to take a break, take a breather.
Yeah, that's something I always advocate.
Yeah, we use in-game time, and this is
Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with it,
yeah.
unless it affects your play somehow. So he places the second bomb a little slowly, so he has to take the 1 in 5 risk going through Omic's head there. If you run all the way to the corner before you teleport, it's safe. You won't end up in his head at all.
Oof.
But it's just a 1 in 5. You know, he got a sub 30 fight, which is really good.
Some anime celebration. Well
Yeah.
done.
That was like right after I left his chatter. I would have posted something similar.
So got a couple more for us. Night Harvester with a low percent no gold of 340. This is a guy who disappeared for the community from a while, but has put out a couple of really nice runs and is just back in the thick of things on the leaderboard again.
Yeah, he's also been more involved recently, community-wise. Been in some more chats, and especially the Discord. He posts on a lot of my YouTube videos. Really cool to see.
Yeah.
He finished a max low hell recently.
Oh, that's right. So not just Moss points, but oh, come on.
Yeah, he did jumbo money as well. He's going after all sorts of categories. He got close to Haunted Max Eggplant a little bit before I got it. It actually is one of the things, in addition to talking to you and others, that got me back interested in it.
So he was one of these semi-retired runners when I started, and I remember feeling good about, you know, beating this retired runner who had a lot of good runs, but he is unretired, if he ever was.
Yeah, I mean, in the past he was throwing down good times, but you didn't really hear much from him. So like I said, it's nice to see him around some.
And he's actually moved back up to top 20 right now, so a lot of good competition, especially in the low 20s.
Yeah, all the way from like 15 to 30. There's a lot of active people. Not so much in the top 10 right now.
So he's going to be limited to the left side here because of that tiny piece of gold.
Yeah, some troll gold.
But handling it pretty well.
Yeah, it only costs a little bit of time.
Oof.
If you have bombs, it'll cost more time because you can't use them as easily.
This is
Yeah,
interesting.
this is troll. This is really troll. Where can he land there?
He's got to get that full jump.
Wow. Was that the one that we usually back whip?
I think it would have been a little bit safer if he back whipped. Wow.
That was pretty crazy.
That's probably the equivalent of a 6-tile jump, I'd guess.
I think so. That's it.
I was not expecting that. Wow.
No, I didn't like the gold there. There wasn't
Yeah.
really a safe way to deal with it.
Well, even the gold, it was you would have had to jump up 3 tiles at that point.
Oh yeah, you're right. And you didn't have any ropes.
So I've got Saturn's Eggplant run. Apparently his 13th completion, and I picked out a couple of highlights for this. Here is 3-1. He spotted an altar, and he's a pretty clever way of not using resources to get the ball and chain here. Just a nice demonstration of a technique more than something that was necessary to complete the run.
Oh, yes, yes. That's cool.
So he gets as far away from the spiders as possible, grabs the ball and chain, and is already on his way to the exit. He left the eggplant down there, of course, so that he could carry the ball and chain on the way back. But yeah,
I think his previous eggplant run was just under 17, so cut a good chunk off of it. I think he might have the second most eggplant runs. It's either me or him. Brute Wars has a ton. I'm not sure how many I have, but it might be only as much as Satter, so I'm not sure.
So he's rewarded with the early ball and chain by getting him a 3-2 visible Moai. That was very nice for him to see.
Yeah, you always want to see that, or it's a huge time waste.
I'm going to jump ahead to the Temple 4-1, which is really where these sort of item to Yama runs are made and ended. But a really nice opening position for Anubis. And let's see what sort of hiding spot that Saturn can find. Not quite one
He's
right
got the
here.
mitt, so he could do a push block type situation, but on these runs where you have the robot, you'll have to eventually get him in a different spot because
Mhm.
he can't pick up the scepter while he's in his float spot, as we call them.
Mhm. So this is a good one. As long as you don't get Magma Man. Oh, he does it a little bit differently than I thought he was going to do it. But that's a safe spot
Looks like
down
I'll
there.
get him- yeah, down there will work.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, he's safe there.
Oh, might skip ahead a little bit because this is a. Oh,
Sure.
this is a good teaching moment for people. Find the safe spot. Give him the altar. Give him the scepter. Hope he doesn't start shooting it off and killing himself, and then make your way to the exit.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't do it too often when he's in his safe spot, but he can.
Very nice. And then, of course, our favorite, Saturn is celebrating number 13.
I think HBix also has a lot of eggplants. I think HBix is around 10 as well.
I want to say he has a lot of fail plants too, because I don't think he has adopted the mammoth strategy just yet. Very quick 16.5 second fight for
Yeah,
Saturn.
very nice.
Very confident. I want to say this is about a 2-minute PB over his last one, but nicely done by Saturnin. Second to last run we're going to highlight is by Sawyer. This is a really fun run. It's a max hell big money run that doubles as a score run. So it reminds me of one of my very first, actually my first submission to Moss ranking, which was this placeholder for all these different runs. And I went through and I watched it, but really this is the culmination of the run, the celebration, getting that last 240k from Yama here.
I've been watching this guy Soar on
Mm-hmm.
Twitch some, and he's going for low hell runs. In his title, he often has
Oof.
learning low hell.
Have you seen him get past 4-1 or?
I've seen him in 4-1,
In 4-1,
so
yeah.
I've seen him get past the market. He uses to practice. He uses Froze Lunky to figure out market strats and
Nice.
stuff. So there's a level of motivation there that's good.
Yeah. I was just
It's
enjoying
not
a couple
a
miss
category.
bombs.
Yeah, it's not a category you'll see casual players attempt. So it's
Yeah.
really nice to see someone new going for it.
What? Is that a strat?
I haven't seen that.
What? Sawyer strats? That's pretty
Subtle.
good. That's a pretty good safe strat there. I thought he was gonna start.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do that quickly.
Yeah,
Probably
extremely
a little
safe.
slower.
So he was at the very upper tip of the rope after destroying the blocks, like you would for a shotgun finish. I I like that a lot.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, I can think of that for like a no gold, like a harder run that's still a speed run.
Yeah, any run that you're nervous about or
Yeah.
have some low health going into Yama.
But way safer, or sorry, way faster than a shotgun finish. Wow, I'm so glad we found that run. Sawyer
Yeah, that's cool.
strats. Let's see, he had a couple others. He had a 604 Max Any and also a 2634 ASO. Very nice.
Yep.
And the last run we're going to show is by Slink. He had a couple, but we're going to show the Olmec fight for his any percent of 252. So,
He
Yeah.
got that teleporter glitch, which is really interesting. I've seen it a few times, but where the teleport is out of his hand there.
Mhm.
Really nice to see a sub 3
yeah.
from him. He relatively new to playing. He wrote one of our news articles recently.
That's right. So he does a half cascade or 4 and 2, which actually
Still
only.
gets
Mhm.
34-second fight. Really nothing too shabby.
Yeah, I would say that cost him probably 3 or 4 seconds, but another very. If you're not quite comfortable with the rhythm of doing the full 6-bomb pace strat, that's a really nice technique to finish Olmec safely. The other run I want to mention by Slink is he had a 9-minute hell run, and he, based on that run, he says he should be able to do Speed Lunky pretty soon.
Look forward to it.
All right, so there are a couple other runs that we didn't think quite made the cut for the video. Um,
It's still good runs, and happy to see active players here.
So Betty had an ASO of 3043 and a hell percent of 1812. Luigi Dude had an ASO of 2520 and a score run of 917. Do you want to do MNC?
Yep, MNC mascot is a new guy. He had an all shortcuts plus Olmec of 54 minutes. Nice to see a new player tackling that category. He also got a hell run of 1310, a low percent score. Another interesting one to see a new guy tackle 168k. He got a no teleporter any percent, just over 6 minutes. Temple shortcut, really nice. Temple shortcut's the one that stands out to me here. Minute 04 is really nice. Tutorial high score 73 800. So he's tackling a lot of interesting, unique niche categories. And then we have Tic Tac Toe, who got Tic Tac Foe. Sorry, got a 26-minute big money, which I don't think it was the same run as his jumbo. No, it wasn't. His jumbo. He got a jumbo money that's the same run as his score run, I believe. And
Yeah,
that's just over 1 million. His first million run.
You never know with Tic Tac Foe though, because he's occasionally submitted some things under the wrong category. So this big money could be part of the jumbo money, and we'll leave it up to the viewers to investigate that.
I think it'll be okay.
So finally, Stuoid wanted us to mention his no TPNE, so here's
Yeah,
his
it's
no
a really
TPNE.
impressive run. We missed it in a couple news because I talked to him personally about it. Yeah, 232. It's 8th place. Really nice. I think Stu's taking a bit of a break, but hopefully we'll see some more from him.
All right, well, that's all we prepared for you. This is still fairly experimental, so leave us some comments about what you liked and what you didn't like about the broadcast. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I've been Ix, and with
I've
Kinney
been
Jump.
Kinney.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Till next time.